Welcome. If you think that I'm going to do yoga today, or if you think that this is yoga, I gotta tell you that you're wrong. If you think that yoga is simply stretching your hands out, tucking your tailbone in, standing in warrior pose, right? You're wrong. If you think that yoga is mindfulness, you know, mental health, you're wrong. Everything that you probably experience through yoga is just one fragment of what it really is. And if all you've experienced is physical health, mental health, emotional health, psychological health, and maybe spiritual health, then you have missed the mark of what you were supposed to get. And it's not your fault. You can only achieve that which someone can share with you. If someone has only experienced a perfect health, a perfect mind, that's all that they can share with you. But yoga is not about the body. Yoga is not about standing in one pose for hours and hours. It's not about doing hard exercises. It's not about flexing yourself into multiple poses. It's not about being competitive of what you can do, what you cannot do, right? It's a dance, right? Even if you're doing martial arts where you're going like this, that's still yoga. Everything in this entire universe has stemmed from yoga. Even your desire to become a physician or to become a lawyer or to create this new invention or to buy a house, to buy a car or a phone, that all those actions are part of yoga. But if that's all you've accomplished, you missed the mark. See, in yoga, there's both an external component and an internal component. The goal is to use this external world to come to the internal world. But the question is, what is your internal world? Right? The $1,000,000 question. Is it this body? Is it this mind, this intellect? Is it these emotions? Are you that? See, until you experience, yes, I use the word experience who you are, you will not know who you are. We can talk about the theories. You are awareness, you are consciousness, you are everything, you are nothing, right? You're not this body, you're not this mind. Those are all theories, right? And you can listen to these theories. It's like listening to a motivational speaker. Yeah, you're hyped up. And then you leave the room of the motivational speaker and you're going, what just happened? I feel shitty again, right? Right? So yoga teaches you who you are. To experience who you are, you need a teacher who has experienced it or has mastered himself. Right? That's what they call that person a guru. Someone who spreads light to you so you understand what you are experiencing. That's why he's called a master, because he's accomplished himself. Right? So, how do we use the external world and how does it affect the internal world? Well, let's just talk about a simple concept. Let's talk about honesty. Right? We all like to lie. We don't want to get in trouble. Right? But why is even the smallest lie, like the insignificant lie, why is it so bad for your existence? See, the purpose of life is just simply to connect to your inner consciousness. By doing this, you're not going to connect your inner consciousness, right? Go ahead, try it. Go like this. You haven't connected. But there are a few people who can go ahead and do this, and at this moment, they're connected, right? Because they understand what their truth is. So again, they understand what their truth is. To understand your truth, you have to experience your truth. But you can't have barriers to your truth. Because your truth is not just an internal truth. It's also the truth of this physical world. This is metal. This is a dry wall. This is a concrete wall. That's the truth. I can't take a hammer and try to nail something into this wall. I could over there, but not over here. That's the truth. Similarly, you have your own truth. Every time you lie, you might think it's a simple lie. You might think that a white lie that's not harming you or anyone, that doesn't change the consequences of your results or their results, right? Simply by stating that, let's say the dumbest lie, that the trees are green even though right now they are turning yellow and orange. That simple lie is sufficient to distort your existence. What do I mean your existence? Exactly that, what I mean. You have this concept of your own existence. That concept is a lie. But to some degree, it is real. This is a real body. This is hair. I'm balding. I am slightly overweight. COVID was not nice to me. Right? That's the truth. Now, if I keep telling myself that I'm skinny, I can eat whatever I want to eat, what is going to happen? You can imagine. Right? I'll probably gain another 40, 50 pounds. Probably be the size of this yoga mat, 6 foot long. Right? So that's how a small lie that I'm not overweight can destroy my existence. So let's just think about it in a day-to-day concept. Right? So you have lied. You went to a party. Okay? So we are at a party right now. And in this party, humans are going to be humans. They don't really care of what you're doing. They really are asking you a question of what's going on with your life because they want to know if they're doing better, right? Right? And happiness is a state of comparison, is not a state of existence for most people. True happiness is a happiness which comes from your inner consciousness, so it comes from within and out. But whenever you seek happiness from outside, it's a comparison. So people are comparing you to themselves. In that comparison, whether you know this consciously or you're subconsciously, you're going to say, let's say you haven't accomplished anything. Let's say that you feel like you're a failure. Right? Now that's your internal feeling. It may not even be real. Because what you think is failure is another topic that we're going to discuss another day. But right now, you're going to go ahead and say, yeah, I cleared my exam. Like, you had to write, let's say, your dental exam. And when you wrote your dental exam or your law exam, you got a little bit afraid that you weren't ready. So you decided not to write the exam. That's the truth. That's the truth that really happened in your existence. But now you're at this party and people are asking what's going on with you. They're nosing around and they're asking you what's going on because they don't really care. You know that. And to satisfy your own ego and to satisfy their ego, you're telling them that you wrote the exam, now you're just waiting the results. It went really well. It was amazing. I'm going forward. Yeah, I love it. Probably the best decision of my life. And deep inside, you're saying, maybe I don't like law. Maybe I don't like dentistry. I don't even know why the hell I was doing it in the first place. Right? Maybe that's what's really happening inside you. Instead of speaking this truth, this deep truth, instead of having it come out, you spoke a lie. So now what does this lie do? It's a white lie. It didn't harm anyone. It did. It harmed you. It took you away from the little connection that you had to yourself. You see what I'm saying? Your existence, accepting the truth of your existence, your financial situation, your mental situation, your circumstances, accepting that situation brings you closer to your inner consciousness. The moment you create a barrier in front of it, you have disconnected yourself. And what ends up happening is that the lie has to be compounded now. People are going to ask you, so did you apply to your any law schools now? That as your result come back, you're going to say, yeah, my results came back. They were amazing. I did amazing on them, even though you never wrote the exam, or maybe you wrote it and you failed it. Right? Sad truth, but shit happens in life. Now, what that's done is now you are telling yourself that I'm a lawyer. This is what you call fake it till you make it. Right? Even faking it till you make it is not accepting your reality. What are you faking? What are you trying to make? Right? No one's really answering this question. There's a reason why this phrase exists, and that it's really a yoga phrase, which we'll get into in another topic. But right now, to save your skin, you're compounding the lies. And deep inside, you keep telling yourself a different reality of that which you are actually living in. Right? So if you are unable to simply tell the truth, what you have done in this external world, you have destroyed your psychological health to understand what your reality and circumstances really are. And that has now divulged you back into this external world, this outside world, because now you're not able to listen to that little voice inside of you that could have guided you on the next step, right? The little voice is our consciousness. And that's the power of yoga. Every external event has a very impactful internal event. And you cannot deny that. One of the biggest lies that every religion, even yoga, speaks is that there is a God. That there is this external being that you're trying to capture. It's a very big lie. And as long as you're believing into that lie, and you don't understand why it was said in yoga that all the other religions picked it up afterwards, you're not going to be even accomplish the simple task of connecting to yourself. Because the entire purpose of yoga is to connect to yourself, not to connect to an external being. But what this lie is about and how to use it for your own betterment is a topic of another day. Anyways, so by simply understanding how important just speaking one truth and how damaging a small lie is, you can understand the power that this concept of everything external has an internal component to. And we can explore this further, but what I have done is, with the Inner Wellness Institute, we have created some beautiful courses. And one of them is the Inner Awakening. Why we call it the Inner Awakening? It is the course which will help you connect to the inner consciousness. Right? It's a very experiential course. And if you want to experience your inner consciousness, if you want to be free of all this pain and suffering, be free from this rat race, I highly recommend that you come and do the course. It's going to change the fundamentals of your life. And that's for today. Another day we'll talk about the other topics that we discussed. And I'm Dr. Abhishek Papneja from the Inner Wellness Institute. I hope you understood what I was trying to say today. And if you have any questions or concerns, uh, connect with me. We can discuss it.